All right, if this gets tough, we can go to a commercial.
We're going to be fine.
I'm sure you will, but listen.
15 seconds.
Just remember, both of you, anytime you need a break, you just signal me, okay?
Fine. I'm fine.
Knock him out.
Okay, here we go.
5, 4.
Good morning. I'm Felicia Gallant, and welcome to Breakfast with Felicia. I know I promised you your favorite romance novelists on today's show, but I've decided to put on hold on that to bring to you something that I feel is more immediate and serious for each of us. I know that you read in the papers that they caught my husband's murderer. They did. Her name is Sally Madison, and she is in police custody right now. But what you don't know is that she claims to have loved my husband. She befriended me after he died, and she planted suspicions in my mind against an innocent man, Assistant District Attorney Kevin Anderson. Sally Madison also placed doubts of Kevin's innocence in the mind of his own brother, Jake McKinnon. Well, on today's show, Jake McKinnon is joining us to talk about all of that, so please help me welcome him. Hello, Jake.
Hi.
I also, before we begin, want to say to you that so many of you sent kind words and thoughts expressing your sympathy and your encouragement. I think, like me, you would also like to understand why violence takes the people that we love. And I'm hoping that today's show will answer some of those questions for all of us. So, Jake, what can you tell us about Sally Madison?
Well, on the outside, I'm sure she seemed to everyone that she was a normal person, but underneath, she was a pretty slick operator.
Yes, she fooled me as well.
Right. I mean, she was always screaming at the cops about not being able to find out who had iced her brother and Lucas, but underneath, she was constantly trying to frame my brother Kevin and using me to find clues.
That must be very hard for you to deal with right now.
Well, fortunately, I wised up. I mean, things were looking bad for Kevin. The cops already thought that he was guilty. I mean, that's when he went into hiding when he found out who was trying to set him up.
Sally.
Right. But I was tracking Kevin on my own all the time.
Now, were you tracking him because you were worried about him?
You see, Kevin was trying to prove that he was innocent.
Yes, but you thought he was guilty, didn't
No,
you?
I didn't want to believe that. I figured that if I tailed him, I might find out if he was clean or not.
I see. So, what happened next?
Well, Kevin tricked Sally into meeting him at an empty club, and when I showed up there, Kevin had a gun pointed at Sally.
Did you think at that moment that he was going to kill her?
Well, she was acting like she was terrified and trapped. I mean, she was screaming that Kevin was out after her. I mean, the average person would have looked at it and would have believed Sally.
And you didn't?
Sally was begging for me to save her life. And that's when I knocked the gun out of Kevin's hand. I mean, I figured we'd all be safer if I had it. In that 1 second, I had to decide who to believe.
And you chose your brother?
Yeah. That's when Sally went for the gun. That's when I got this. I mean, I took the bullet that Sally meant for Kevin.
Talk about rewriting history.
Oh, yeah, something else I forgot to tell you. I had to yell at Kevin to leave me and go after Sally.
Yeah, but in leaving you, I mean, here you were in this room all by yourself, nobody around. How long do you think you might have been in there?
I have absolutely no idea. None at all.
What's going on? I don't believe this. Jake is making it sound like he should be getting the Congressional Medal of Honor.
And you didn't feel that way?
No.
You didn't feel like maybe you might bleed to death? That didn't cross your mind?
No, I passed out, and I managed to make it to the hospital on my own. It's just in the nick of time, they tell me.
You know, now that this is all over, do you regret doubting your brother?
That's a tough one. If it hadn't been for that, I don't think that my brother would be alive right now.
How can you stomach this?
It's vintage, Jake. It's Felicia I'm worried about.
If you want to know my version, I think the reason Jake got shot was because he didn't push Kevin in front of him fast enough.
We couldn't have planned this better if we tried.
What do you mean, give him enough rope?
And he'll hang himself. He's playing right into our hands, Iris.